So if somebody is being mean to you in any way, disrespecting you, and still claiming to love you, well, of course, it's not healthy to be around a person like this, a person who's supposed to be your authentic partner or friend or a loved one. They would never act like this. So their soul can love you, yes, but if their actions and their energy is not showing it to you, if they are not showing you respect and love and care like they are supposed to do, like you also give them, you just have to walk away from this person. Well, I'm sure that you know that I have also had this happen, and I've experienced the pain of this kind of situation when I was thinking to myself, like, what should I do about this? And so it's important to have clarity and, clear guidance that it is important to, just leave these kind of people just be, because it's just too much for a sensitive person to deal with, to be dealing with a person's issues like this. So it is just too much, and they're not taking accountability or responsibility, and usually they don't, because I've also been in such situations where my toxic exes claimed to love me, but then they were being abusive, and it's so unhealthy. It's such an unhealthy situation to be in, especially if you have also been bullied as a child and abused as a child, if you have narcissistic parents. So, well, these people did not even know about my past, because when I was younger, I did not talk about these things like I do now. But still, it's not an excuse, of course. It's never an excuse to, treat a person like that. So let's say an example that somebody reaches out to you from the past, and you try to see if there is any potential for you to be friends or whatever, maybe a partner, maybe date this person, maybe get closer to this person, get to know this person. Anyway, you want it to work out. You're interested, you're curious to find out if they have healed, if they have changed to be a better person, to be treating you better, if they hurt you in the past, if they were immature in the past and all of that. So here is present day, and you are talking or messaging or calling or whatever, and you try to communicate with them as you possibly can. You have authentic respect maybe still for this person, authentic interest, or maybe even feelings, and you try to hold on to hope. As a sensitive empath, highly sensitive person, you try to see, like, could this work out in one way or another? And you open up to them, you want to trust them, you want to build trust and communicate normally, like smart adults. And then they lash out on you suddenly about something. For example, they can tell you that you are full of yourself when you're just trying to trust them, trying to build that trust and open up to them. And you are telling them, for example, what has been going on in your life. Well, there you have it. You have the first big red flag sign that clearly this person has not evolved, they have not changed from the past, if they were abusive in the past, hurting you, disrespecting you in any way, and not taking accountability or responsibility for their own issues and their own behavior, clearly that process has not happened. And this is no wonder, because, you know, usually these kind of issues take such a long time to heal, you know? And especially, of course, if a person is avoiding them. So if they are an avoidant, and they can be narcissistic as well. So then all of that positive energy, you know, it's not real in this situation. You know, certain things in life, in daily life, have to be done, because if we don't do them, if we don't face them, like deep emotional wounds, issues, trauma, if we don't do the self-care practices daily, of course they are going to be there bothering us. It's the same as, you know, dealing with a messy home, for example. The mess is going to be there if you don't clean it up. So the same thing with your brain and you know, with everything in your life. And, you know, all of that garbage energy is just going to reflect on the people around you, you know, and usually this is loved ones, of course, family, children, partners, because they're the closest. So clearly this person who is still being mean to you in any way, disrespecting you, because it's pretty harshly said out of the blue. If somebody's, you know, a sensitive person is trying to open up and trust a person, and the other one says that you're full of yourself or something like that, well, it's a typical narcissistic comment. What a narcissistic person would say when they are manipulating and gaslighting you to blame yourself, instead of that they would actually grow up and heal and take responsibility and accountability. So yeah, there you have it. You know, it's a big big sign that you should just, you know, you should cut all interactions with this kind of person. So don't make the same mistake what I did, because I was enduring these kind of people for too long. And can this kind of a person change? Can a narcissistic person change? Well, if you've been watching my videos, I've been saying that usually they don't change. I have heard that there have been cases when, you know, they have taken accountability and wanted to heal and change and be a better person instead of that toxic one. So I've heard about this, that it's true that, you know, this can happen, but it's rare. It's very, very rare. And from my personal experience, when I think about the horrors that happened to me in my life, now that I'm 40, so the energy with these kind of people has been so dense and heavy and scary, frightening. So it has been so horrific, the behavior, and, you know, all of that attacking and all of that. It's been so heavy on me that sometimes I'm still amazed that I'm even here, you know, alive, and all of that, after having faced such scary beings in my life. I cannot even call them people, you know, because it's demonic energy that is within them. It's very unnatural, very unsettling when they are just manipulating you and gaslighting you so badly, brainwashing you so that you would just blame yourself and suffer. So it is so cruel that, you know, it's hard to see that, you know, changing. But then, of course, we are powerful beings who can manifest and attract and create things in our lives. We have the energy of God within us, especially as we are God's chosen ones, earth angels, starseeds, empath, highly sensitive people. So we have a lot of power and gifts within us that we should tune into every day to protect ourselves and you know, to be ourselves and all of that. And, you know, I always believe that, of course, a soul is pure. The soul and the spirit, who you are, those are pure. But it's just the conscious mind and these demonic entities that can take over if a person has low vibration. So that creates issues. And I have heard that if you manifest enough, you can manifest a person to change because you are in charge of your reality. So if you enter this God state in a meditation, you know, regularly, if you do this, you can really attract and create and manifest anything that you want powerfully, you know, when you are really in that gratitude state. But of course, it always has to come from love, pure authenticity, that you're honest with yourself, what you want to manifest and attract and create. So it's not coming from any wrong sources. It's coming from God, you know, it's just pure love. So I've heard that this can be possible, yes. But at the same time, you have to believe in it, what you are calling in and manifesting and creating. So your faith has to be strong. Your faith in God, your faith in yourself, your faith in the universe, your faith in you know, things working out and going the way you want it to go has to be very, very strong. Of course, you can also pray that they would heal if you want to do that. Maybe you have been doing that. But yeah, so it's no wonder if they don't heal and change, because it seems to be so common that they don't. So my advice is just, you know, to walk away, of course, and just, you know, focus on your own happiness. And I also want to point out that the pain and the disrespect that this kind of person has caused you, it is just so deep and heavy that maybe you are not going to be able to forgive them ever. Maybe you just want to focus on yourself and never want to see them again. That is the most healthy thing to do, of course. The most, you know, with common sense. And I also know that if you are stuck with these kind of people in your life, it can be very difficult to move on and heal. I know that too, because I struggled with that also for years. And usually, you know, as you heal, you start to see who are healthy for you. You start to see things a lot more clearly, because you can't see things fully and truly as they are. You cannot feel them out fully as they are, because if you are so manipulated and brainwashed and deceived and put down and destroyed to be in that state, that you're just basically just suffering and blaming yourself, feeling guilty when you shouldn't. But that is what they do. So when you are in that state, it is very, 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 very difficult to, you know, be rising up from that state. And you have to be merciful on yourself. And of course, my advice is from experience, painful experience, that if somebody reaches out to you from the past, like a toxic ex who was abusive to you, or anyone, whether it's relative, friend, whoever it was, but you wanted the relationship to work, you were kind to them, you were nice to them, You wanted to be their friend or their partner, or whatever the situation has been. You wanted to, have a normal relationship, but it did not go that way. It did not work out, and it's not your problem. It's not your issue. You have done your best, and they were toxic to you. So don't let them back in. As empaths and highly sensitive people, earth angels and starseeds, we can be so trusting, too trusting. I was so trusting in the past, always seeing the good in people. I'm still like that. Of course, it's not going to leave me. It's a part of me. But now I know better after all these years and all the work that I did on myself and discovering everything out and all of that and helping others. So now I know better to protect myself and everything that I have to protect. And it's energy work, energy protection and healing as well. And to know who is good for you and who is not. Because we are in charge of our own lives, so we have to know what is good for us and what is not good for us. And knowing the difference and making better choices so that we are not abandoning ourselves anymore. That we are taking care of ourselves first and foremost so that we can function, so that we can live a full life and to do what we need to do and to be good parents, good partners, good friends, do our work and all of that. So we always have to show up for ourselves first. And yeah, so if you want to work with me one-on-one, don't hesitate to hit me up. And we can discuss more from that. Because I can really help you heal from that childhood trauma, from that narcissistic abuse trauma, and heal and move on and become empowered, just by tuning into yourself, just being you, discovering your strength, your own empowerment, that is always within you. Everything is always within you, and like I always say, I believe that, every person is born innocent and good. It is just that something happens on the way that changes a person to be toxic, if that happens. So it is very sad.